I drove over 3 hours to attend the Bad Luck tour for We Came as Romans. I also decided to get the VIP package, but in all honesty, I wanted to see Johnny Booth. Now, this lineup was Johnny Booth, After the Burial, Currents, and We Came as Romans. And as somebody who lives in the Michigan area, you always have to go and support those bands, so We Came as Romans is definitely on the docket as always. The only problem is I had to drive 3 hours to go see this show. Now, in all fairness, Johnny Booth is one of my recent obsessions. I have listened to their entire discography, their 3 albums, and they're one of my favorite new bands. So I wanted to go check them out live, as I couldn't go to any of the shows that are on their upcoming tour. So this was pretty much my only chance. And just a 3-hour drive one way wasn't terrible for me, so it wasn't awful. But the traffic was non-existent basically in Kansas. I went to the Granada show. It was originally supposed to be in Kansas City at one of the theaters there, but it got moved to Lawrence, which is where the University of Kansas is, if you were unaware. I'm assuming it got moved to that venue for reasons on ticket sales, because if you read anything about this tour, a lot of people are leaving the shows early apparently, and that was kind of my experience at the show as well. But apparently a lot of people were just going to see Currents there. My opinion on Currents is I really like their music, their style. The only problem I have is the mixing on their music. I just cannot get over some of the mixes on their songs, how the vocals just feel buried under everything, and it just feels like an entire mess. But anyway, very good up and coming band. They're great live, but everybody is going to see Currents and Johnny Booth. At least I am. So a lot of people are leaving early from this tour, and when I did the meet and greet experience with We Came as Romans, it was probably like 10 people, including myself. Definitely like it was the most like intimate, but also being like the most awkward VIP experience of all time. Honestly, like I've done a couple of these VIP experiences now, and this one was kind of awkward. So Dave didn't even talk at all because he was on vocal rest apparently. I'm not really sure. Obviously he didn't say anything. The other guys were kind of just speaking for him. I believe the guitarist Lou wasn't even there. Andy was pretty much the most social one as always, and I forget the drummer's name. Oh, I'm drawing a blank right now, but him and Andy pretty much led the entire VIP experience, and it was kind of weird because they had like this Bad Luck game dice that they played, and it was just weird. The people that went to the VIP experience definitely were big fans, and they seem to have done this with the band. They were all like pretty familiar with each other, so it was kind of fun, kind of awkward, but honestly, it was $100, I believe, and honestly, that price is kind of cheap compared to like a lot of arena shows. And my main thing is I wanted to get to the merch first, and I wanted to get in first to see Johnny Booth because I knew they were going to be the first band playing. So with the merch, I actually got a couple of We Came as Roman things with the VIP experience, obviously. They had a bunch of merch there, a bunch of signed stuff. They had like drum heads and different stuff. None of it was very interesting for me. I actually bought a poster from After the Burial, though. It was like $40 or something. It's a signed poster. It's an 18 by 24. Pretty cool poster, honestly. This is the first time I heard of After the Burial was through this concert. Their songs feel very repetitive, but if you like that sound, you're going to like their pretty much entire discography, personally. Currents, I bought a signed vinyl of their most recent record. Let me try to find it here. Yeah, The Death We Seek. Got a signed copy of that, and I believe that was $50. And then In Moments Elsewhere, the Johnny Booth latest record, I got a signed copy of that. I bought some stickers. Oh, what else did I buy? Oh, I bought the drum head, which was $100 from Johnny Booth. They only had one. I believe Currents also had drum heads that were $100, but I ended up spending probably like $150 on merch. Overall, pretty happy with all the stuff I got, though. Obviously, the big stuff was the drum head, the signed vinyls, and the poster, and then I got a couple stickers and knickknacks or whatever. So getting to the live show, Johnny Booth was first. Actually, before they even went on, I got to talk and meet with the lead singer, Andrew. It goes by Andy, I believe. Talked with him for like 10 minutes or so. He's super cool guy. Got a couple of pictures with him. He's very nice, very cordial. He was super appreciative of me being there. I was told him I drove there to see them, basically. He was super appreciative the entire time. Their set was amazing. He jumped the crowd at the end, and I'm pretty sure he might have kicked me in the back of the head on accident. But it was such a great time. I met a bunch of cool local people there. I met the local photographer. I'll put her Instagram somewhere in here. She took some cool photos of the show. I met this other cool guy. I met this one guy who was literally headhunting me in the pit, but I think he was just too intoxicated. His brother came up and like apologized for him after the fact to me, but it wasn't like a big deal or anything. It was just kind of like a look over your shoulder type thing to make sure like this big dude doesn't just blindside you type deal. But it was a super good show overall. Johnny Booth was first, had an amazing time in the pit. Afterwards, I kind of got out of the pit because I was freaking destroyed. Currents actually performed after Johnny Booth, so I went back in the pit for Currents for the back half of their set. And then afterwards, it was after the Burial. They were pretty good. And then We Came as Romans came on. I stayed and listened to the unreleased song at the time, Red Smoke. That was off their newest record that just came out. But after that, I did have to leave because it was on a Sunday and I had to work at Monday and I have to be up at 6 a.m. So by this point, it's about 10 o'clock, 9:30ish. So by the time I got in my car and like got ready to go, it was after 10 o'clock. So then I got 3 hours on top of that. I got home at like 1 to 2 because I did stop and get some food as well. It was kind of a crazy day because I drove 3 hours there. I went down to Kansas City to eat at Q39. It's a great barbecue spot down there. I love eating there. So I went there to eat, and then I drove to Lawrence, which was like 20-30 minutes outside of that. So I pretty much was there all day. I feel like I left sometime like at 11, maybe noon, got down there and did the VIP experience. So I felt like I was down there for like 8 to 10 hours, like a full work day is what I felt like. And then the long drive back, I was starting to get really tired. I was chugging Red Bulls the entire time, but definitely worth the experience. Got a bunch of cool merch. Got to see Johnny Booth, one of my favorite bands. They're certified in the top 10 for me now. Currents, like I said, great live band. Wouldn't travel 3 hours to see just them again. That's for sure. After the Burial, I'll listen to it, but not my favorite for anything. We Came as Romans. I feel bad, honestly, at this point. A lot of people left early, like myself. I didn't leave because I didn't like the band. I left because of work, basically. So a lot of people online have been leaving the shows early, and I know this tour is probably over by the time I'm posting this video. I know they're still touring, though, in the support of their new album. I know a lot of people like the new sound, don't like the new sound since Kyle's passed away. Personally, I think they should have the guy from I Prevail, who's trying to start his own band. I think he's like under contract or something, though. He can't release music. But they need like another clean vocalist. Nothing against Dave or anything, but his clean vocals are just not my favorite. I think he should stick to heavier vocals, and they should bring in another clean vocalist. Nothing against the guys. I just think the band needs to take somewhat of a different direction because they put out like these radio hits or whatever, but they're touring with really like heavier bands and stuff. So I wonder if that has something to do with it, but I feel like they gotta change something up. They're still selling tickets and everything. It's not like the band's dying or anything, but maybe they're just happy with where they're at, and if they're happy, I'm happy, but it's none of my business, to be honest. I just had to support them because they're from the area which I live in, so I'll always support bands from my area. Johnny Booth was there as well, so shout out to him. Shout out to all the bands on the lineup. It was great. Shout out to all the cool people I met at the venue. I felt very welcomed at a new location, new venue that I've ever been. The venue itself seemed really old, but once you got inside, it seemed like a pretty nice venue. It was really small, really compact, which was great. I prefer the more intimate shows anyway. So Overall, great show, great tour. Go Johnny Booth, go capture new heights, and they should have been the headliners. I believe future headliners, and I'm calling it now. So it'd be awesome to maybe reach out to somebody in Johnny Booth and like interview them, because I have a couple questions regarding to like their performance, their sound, and everything. I don't know. Maybe in the future, maybe one day. Anyways, thanks for watching this long. If you went to the tour, let me know what date you went on and what you thought of the show. But appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.